Congratulations to the winner so far. We're nicely spreading love quite a bit this year. Now let's talk about special effects. These nominated special effects include charming little animation, as well as the host interacting with inanimate objects magically coming to life via editing software. Gravity, Epic, Frozen, eat your heart out. The nominees for Best Individual Special Effect are Matt Brunet for Brad Bird in the Restaurant in Animation Look Back, Pixar Animation Studios Part 3.
Monsieur Bird, are you absolutely certain that ordering everything on the menu?
Don't worry, dude. I am absolutely sure about this. Besides, it's for research.
J'espère que cette recherche n'est pas à propos qu'on utilise la crotte à pigeon dans notre sauce.
Sarah Gettinger and Michael Kipton for the dancing animation in VG Retro Kid Chameleon.
So, you the wizard?
Yeah. Of course! It's me!
Stefan Krozes for Newtrack in Animated Analysis Rocky and Bullwinkle.
I wanted to deny it, guys, but the evidence is irrefutable. This movie is self-aware.
Oh no! What does that mean? Oh come on, you're the biggest jerk I know! You can do it!
You really mean that?
Yep, you meanie head!
Thanks, Newrack, that means a lot.
David Rose for The Endless DVD Shelf in the DVD Shelf Twilight Zone the movie.
Obsession, consumption, excess, addiction. Ugly words depending on your interpretation. But what do these words have in common? Consumption in excess can elevate an obsession into an addiction. Case in point, David Rose had to learn the hard way that his obsession with film has led to an addictive consumption of Blu-rays and DVDs.
And James Sullivan for the Floating Alien DVD in Hymitude from Page to Pictures War of the Worlds.
You know, some critics get the best superpower.
And the best individual special effect goes to David Rose for The Endless DVD Shelf. As people doing videos on the internet, we just love hearing ourselves talk. There's no denying it, we're egotists that way. As such, sometimes we'll spread a topic among multiple shows because we just love talking about them. The nominees for Best Multi-Part Episode are The Making of Animation Look Back.
Once I know I'm ready to do the voice, then I go immediately to the recording.
The texture, the stitching, and all the different fabric that goes through earth, wind, water, and fire are all incorporated here.
In total, there are 95 different wardrobes worn by the characters.
Hymitude, your top 11 best scares of childhood.
We have the air conditioner scene from The Brave Little Toaster. This scene is brought to us by our very own VG Retro.
Hi! I'm VG Retro. Do I need to say anything else?
Yes. Tell me, exactly what about this scene scared you?
Pan Pizza, San Diego Comic-Con 2013 recap.
Greg Sipes truly knows how to BS an answer when a viewer asked why his character Beast Boy is green.
Because the color of the heart chakra is green, and Beast Boy is pure love, and so are all animals, they are pure love.
Actually, Beast Boy was on the verge of death from green fever until his parents mutated his genes to save his life, but I guess your answer works too.
Real vs. Real, my top 25 favorite animated films.
Some films make you laugh. Some films make you cry. The next film on my list is, to my knowledge, unmatched in making you giggle hysterically at its outrageous levels of cuteness.
And Some Jerk with a Camera, ABC Goes to Disney World.
Step by Step, ladies and gentlemen, a shameless Brady Bunch ripoff starring the pretty boy from Dallas and the blonde chick from Three's Company. Say what you want about Full House, at least Full House had an identity. At least Full House gave work to relatively unknown talent, to use a term loosely. Step by Step was a glorified rerun before it was even rerun, a contractual obligation at 9/8 Central, a primetime network Nick at Night.
And the best multi-part episode goes to... I can't get it. Hymentude for your top 11 best scares of childhood. Next we have Best Crossover Special, awarded to the best partnership between two show creators and the wacky adventures that ensue when they write and host together. These are actually quite long and complicated to put together, so it requires quite a bit of patience. The nominees for Best Crossover Special are Danny Bollenbacher and Logan Rinnebaum for Huey's Animated Movie Reviews, the top 10 most romantic songs in an animated feature.
It's very reminiscent of the songs that were written during the Disney Renaissance period. Not surprising, since the person who co-wrote the song, Alan Menken, was responsible for a majority of the songs from that wonderful era.
This song is sweet, and the visuals, which are stunning, complement it perfectly. And unlike the last song, it benefits from the fact that not only is it being sung by two people who have known each other for more than a couple of minutes, but it's actually being used to show how far they've come and how their feelings and motivations have changed.
Matt Burkett and Logan Rinnebaum for Huey's Animated Movie Reviews, the top 12 Harryhausen creatures.
That is no way for a badass like him to die! I rest my case.
Hell, Zenobia treats his death like, hey, really wasn't that big of a deal. Didn't really like him anyways.
Minotaur. A Minotaur in bronze armor is enough to make him a winner.
Sam Fleming and Morgan Ledger for South Jersey Sam, Attack of the Giant Vulture.
It's got a good payoff.
Yeah, it was. However, was the episode itself worth the wait? Personally, with the censorship included, it didn't seem that different to me.
While it's great to see something like this existed, Rude Removal feels like a typical episode. I can understand the reason for the ban, but if Rugrats and SpongeBob and Arthur can get away with teaching the moral of swearing, I can see this getting by.
David Green and Joseph Patrick for Cartoon Palooza, A Little Piece of Heaven.
For me, it leaves behind the legacy of badassitude. The lyrics might turn people off, especially in this day and age where everything is meticulously picking apart.
I'm standing right here. I may be dead, but I still have feelings, you know.
Of which I can be guilty of on a dozen of accounts, so I digress. I find this morbid and twisted tune to be one of the best, and the video itself to be a decent take on it.
And Michael Kipton and Morgan Ledger for Vaulted, Jetsons the Movie.
Has it gone?
Yes, Basil, the scary voiceover trailer man has left.
But it's not just that. The way George Jetson screams his line, it's almost like a screamer.
If you ask me, what truly lies in this picture is far more frightening than seeing your grandmother's nudie pictures for the first time.
How do you know what my grandmother looks like?
And the best crossover special goes to Michael Kipton and Morgan Ledger for Vaulting, Jetsons the Movie. The first part that goes into any episode is the writing process. And while we may have some idea of what we want to talk about, how it comes off on the page might seem different than what we had in our heads, even if we're just stating our opinion really, and writing is really just the forming together of sentences with which we flap our mouths to, and wow, this is starting to get really lengthy and complicated. Who wrote this and why didn't we cut it? I wrote it? You sure it wasn't Hymentude? Curious George is a really good movie, but on the scale, the book's better. Just roll the best writing nominees while I wrangle myself out of this failed and long-winded routine. Nick Anthony for a graphic novel picture show, Batman and Robin.
That just raises so many questions. Like, where does the money come from to pay it? I mean, I know the guy's a billionaire, but how does he transfer the money onto the card to pay off the balance without raising suspicion as to his identity? I mean, is it like in the modern comics where it's just kind of common knowledge that Bruce Wayne supports Batman financially? Or does he go through a series of dummy corporations to kind of launder the money? Either way, it doesn't seem like it'd be that hard to trace it back to him.
Danny Bollenbacher for Real vs. Real, Coraline vs. Paranorman.
Courtney is Norman's older sister and is the typical blonde cheerleader cliche. She spends much of the film trying to hook up with Mitch, who turns out to be a lost cause. In her favor, she does seem to learn a few things by the end of the film. Mitch is a dumb jock and Neil's older brother. He doesn't really change too much, but the last reveal is pretty hilarious, not to mention well executed.
Matt Brunet and Logan Rinenbaum for Huey's animated movie reviews, Gertie the Dinosaur.
Gertie the Dinosaur is classified by film and animation historians as the first cartoon character created especially for film to display a unique, realistic personality. What makes this short great is that it's like those shows at the zoo where this guy would come out and introduce us to this trained animal that can do all these amazing tricks. But since this is animated, he has more freedom to control the animal and do tricks that can be funny. Another thing is the animation. This was made before Walt Disney's time. McKay had to draw each and every scene that's happening, and that must have taken months to complete just one scene.
Tony Gomar for Some Jerk with a Camera, Step by Step Goes to Disney World.
I'm sorry, but I just can't pretend these inaccuracies don't bug me anymore. Disney World is a real place. I'm standing in it. And you can't just make stuff up about a real product. Where do you draw the line between suspension of disbelief and false advertising?
Disney World, where your kids perform death-defying stunts in front of thousands of witnesses, and the restraints on thrill rides are optional because Mickey Mouse ice cream bars give you the power to fly, and if you buy 2 of every plush toy, your mom and dad will get back together and Grandma will finally wake up.
Michael Kipton and Morgan Ledger for Vaulting, Jetsons the Movie.
How come it didn't go after you? Because I only exist inside your TV.
Bolshevik! If you were as human as you say, you would experience that same feeling of my pain!
Ah! What the? Oh! Hurt! Pain! Curse this body!
And David Rose for the DVD shelf, Falling Down.
Now I think director Joel Schumacher has crafted a brilliant little movie here, and it's astounding to think that this was released only 2 years before he went off to direct his 2 notoriously hated Batman movies, because there couldn't be any more contrast between the 2 styles. Schumacher gets a little too much flack these days simply for what he did to Batman, but the guy has made other films too, some of them that are pretty damn good. So to write off his entire filmography is to overlook some pretty strong movie making, and to me, Falling Down is easily one of his best efforts.
And the best writing for an individual episode goes to Matt Brunet and Logan Rinenbaum for Huey's animated movie reviews, Gertie the Dinosaur. Now on to one of my favorite categories, awarding the best title card. And we have 5 very talented artists this year who picked up their pencil or Cintiq and drew something special, and any one of them could be hired by Disney or Leica or Blue Sky or DreamWorks one day. I look forward to your eventual contributions to Shrek 5. Oh yes, it is coming. The nominees are Danny Bollenbacher for Real vs. Real, Coraline vs. Paranorman. Sarah Gettinger for Vaulting, Godzilla vs. Hedorah. Kim C. Jones for Huey's animated movie reviews, The Croods. Michael Kipton for Haimitude from Pages to Pictures, War of the Worlds. And Ian Robbins for Some Jerk with a Camera, Sabrina the Teenage Witch Goes to Disney World. And the best title card goes to Danny Bollenbacher for Real vs. Real, Coraline vs. Paranorman.